Hello. So you're thinking about breaking into tech. Well, let me tell you what's up, and hopefully it will help you make a better decision in the end. When you really think about breaking into tech, like that's such a broad field. But the good thing about transitioning into tech is that it's like twofold. So, one, you don't necessarily need a degree. Actually, you don't need a degree for a lot of these positions. And then two, the tech industry offers some very financial lucrative prospects. So that's always a good thing. You can make your coin, you can make your bag in tech. So part one, I'm going to talk about the actual roles in tech. And then in part two, I will talk about like the how and the where of this journey and how you make that happen. So let's dive right in. You might grab a pen and paper and take some notes because I'm going to drop some gems, drop some information on you. And so hopefully it will help. So first thing to note is that while you may not need a degree, you got to have some skills. You got to have some knowledge. You got to upskill. And so with this industry growing so quickly and so rapidly, there are companies out there that are providing instruction. I call them boot camps. Everybody else calls them boot camps. So if you've ever heard somebody refer to a tech boot camp, it's the ability to train people in the technical aspect. They're going to teach you like the practical skills and really position you to be able to get a job in tech and to be successful. So let's discuss the understanding of all of this from like a high level. It's a high level, okay? But it will give you enough information to kind of get your wheels turning, get you thinking, kind of inspire you to figure out like where do you think you may fit in the tech industry. And then I want to share some salary information. I'll be very modest with the ranges that I give you because there's a lot of factors that come into play when you're looking at how much you make in tech. It's the job itself, where the company is located, the size of the company, your experience level, what you can convey in terms of your performance. So just keep in mind that tech overall pays good. They will pay you good. Even at the entry level, there's so much earning potential. So tech encompasses a vast array of positions, and it's important to note that the titles, like they're interchangeable. There's a lot of different titles for a lot of different positions, but in essence, the role is relatively the same. So even though you have that variation in title, the job function is about the same, but it makes the job hunting process a little bit frustrating. But that's a topic for another day. So we're going to start with position number one, an SDR or BDR, which is a sales development rep or a business development rep. And that's the path that I'm currently on. As a sales development rep, you're going to like research. You're going to do a lot of research, trying to figure out the potential clients for the company. You're going to reach out to those clients, and your intention is to schedule a future appointment or demo so that they can get acclimated with that product. And then you're going to connect them with your account executive or AE. So it may sound simple, but it can be challenging depending on your willingness and the capabilities you have, because it's a sales role. There's heavy prospecting. You're making a lot of calls, trying to book these appointments. You're going to have to deal with handling rejection and people not wanting to hear what you have to say, but you have to stay persistent. The great thing is a starting salary, including commissions, you can start at around 70K, and that's on the modest end. There are definitely positions where you can be more at like the 90K if you're more skilled in the areas, but just know that it requires a lot of strong communication skills. You got to be persistent, you got to be resilient and self-motivated because it's a sales role, and you got to be organized too. There's a lot of moving parts in being an SDR or a BDR. So let's say you're moving up the ladder. The next thing you have is an account executive or an AE. This is also a sales role. You're responsible really for building and maintaining the client relationships, and you're doing the full sales cycle. So like you're taking off after the SDR has uncovered that initial lead. You're going to sit with them. You're going to help them uncover what they need. You're going to negotiate, and you're going to close the deal. So you're really establishing a partnership with the client. The great thing about AE, the modest level starting is about $100,000. and that's your base. And then you have commissions on top of that. There's different levels of account executives. You have like small, middle business, you have mid-market, and then you have enterprise. And of course, with enterprise, those are those big heavy hitter accounts and companies that you're working with. You can easily make $250,000 or more W-2. So the sky is the limit when you're crushing it as an AE. That's what I'm trying to do after I be SDR, BDR. That's my goal. So you really have to be strategic. You really have to establish those relationships and be able to close. Always be closing. So next up, you have sales solutions, solutions engineers, sales engineers. They actually collaborate both with the sales team and like the technical aspect. It's like the merging of those two. And really, they're trying to help the client understand the technical solutions that we're proposing. The responsibilities can range from like conducting discovery meetings, really finalizing what they need, demonstrating the product, showing what the product can do. In this role, it can vary from company to company depending on the product, but your goal is to really showcase the technology. We've talked about it. Let's showcase it. The salary range can range anywhere from like 80 to 150. And of course, in some cases, there's an additional like incentive or bonus structure. The skills that you need, you definitely got to have the technical aptitude and communication skills, the sales acumen, the ability to kind of bridge that gap between the technology and the sales team. You know, people can sell, but how does that look in real world? So that's what a solutions engineer and sales engineer do. Another role that I want to mention is the customer success manager, CSM. They focus primarily on post sales. So how that product launches, and once that actually gets into the client's hand, ensuring that they're satisfied with the products and service, answering any questions and supporting what they need. They become that primary contact for the customer to be able to answer any ongoing communication, any troubleshooting questions. And their main goal is to make sure that they're happy, but also to retain that client and make sure that there is no churn. When you're looking at salary, you're looking anywhere from like 70 to 100. And also there's a bonus structure there. You got to be a people person because you're talking about the things that's important to them, that's important. Problem solving, strategic thinking, all those things are important. So now we're going to shift over to the technical positions in the tech industry. Those were all the non-technical. Now we're going to get into like the technical positions. And first and foremost, baby, you got cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is huge, and it's all about protecting important information, detecting potential threats, making sure confidential information remains confidential, and that each company maintains the integrity, and making sure that there's no data breaches. And we all know about cybersecurity is huge. You have security analysts, and then you'll have cybersecurity engineers. If you're on the analyst side, you're looking at like 70 to 130-ish. And then if you're a cybersecurity engineer, then you're looking at like 90 to like 140. So you really have to be able to focus and monitor the security systems that the company has set up. Or if you're an engineer, you're actually designing and implementing that security infrastructure. So there's a lot going on there. There are tons of certification programs. You just got to build that technical aptitude and be able to have a good mindset, ethical mindset is what I was trying to say. So after that, you have like UX, UI design that focuses on like user experience and user interface. So it's all about what's facing the client, the technical aspect that's facing the client, and making sure that the client has a good experience. Is it user friendly? Is it appealing to the eye? All those things. That's all part of the design component. It's a creative outlet for anybody who considers themselves very creative. When you're looking at the salary, it's anywhere from 60 to 120. That's a big range, but it depends on, again, the company and all that kind of stuff. But if you're an individual who has a flair for creativity, really kind of seeing things from the perspective of the user, that would be something to think about because they really focus on the aesthetic. Then you have cloud computing professionals. Those individuals are responsible for like building the cloud, making sure the infrastructure of the cloud is secure. And when we talk about this, a cloud, it's like how information is kept instead of like physical infrastructure. It's in the cloud. And so if you're working in cloud like AWS, it's just making sure that that information is still protected. Instead of using local hard drives and private data centers, it's in the cloud. And so cloud engineers and architects are paid based on their experience and their expertise. So obviously when you're first coming out, about 80K. If you have a high level experience, 150K plus. But you really have to have the technical aptitude and the knowledge, be able to problem solve, and the willingness to like continue learning, because the cloud is always changing and technology surrounding the cloud is always changing. But it's important to note that you can build that proficiency in the field. Next, we have data analyst. I know this is a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I hope y'all taking some notes, but it's good information. A data analyst, and this does not at all excite me. It is people who look at data, and that's just not my cup of tea, but they collect data, they analyze it, they interpret all these large data sets and help companies make informed decisions about how they can generate revenue and retain clients. Salaries range from like 60 to 100K as a data scientist. They really have to possess the skills and expertise that's needed, and you can make more money. You got to have an analytical mindset, really looking at quantitative data and quantitative skills, attention to detail, and technical proficiency. They can keep that, but it's out there. It's an option. And lastly, we have software engineers, software developers, and obviously they're there to design and develop the software using languages like Java, Python, C++, SQL, and that's just to name a few. Software engineers, the salary can range from like 70 to like 100K. And you got to have an analytical mind, problem solving, attention to detail, curiosity, all these different like complex like concepts and patterns and requirements. The reason why I say all this and I'm laughing about it is because I thought I wanted to be a software engineer. I was going to go to boot camp to be a software engineer. My brain doesn't think that way. It's just funny for me to think about it now. So anyways, this list kind of highlights the wide variety of opportunities that are available in the tech space. So don't assume like you have to be able to code to go into tech. That's like far from the truth. There's a place for everyone in tech. So hopefully this information will help you kind of pinpoint your areas of tech that kind of align with your abilities, your personality, your interests. So what I'll do in part 2 is I will discuss how and where you can start your journey into tech. That will give you some more information to go on, to begin researching. So I hope this helps you out. And until next time.